Hey, everybody, welcome back to Dollars and Cents, the show where we discuss the business of football with Andrew Brandt of the National Football Post. As always, Andrew, it's a pleasure. How are you, pal?
Doing well, Sid. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Nice to be back with you, too, here. We've discussed the Michael Crabtree situation at length, and now we finally have a resolution. After all the talk of escalators and slot, what was finally the tipping point for the two sides? Because you did tell me last week here and on my radio show you thought this would get done. You were right. How'd it go down?
I did, and I didn't really understand people saying he'll never sign or he'll be traded next year or he'll go back into the draft. That was an asset the 49ers wanted from the beginning. Coach Singletary was out front saying we got a steal here in the draft, getting one of the top players at number 10. It just came down to a lot of complicating factors that were in the contract. The 49ers stepped out in early May trying to get a deal done, and it didn't happen then. And then the Hayward Bay contract with the Raiders came in. That really complicated things because the Crabtree camp, the player, the agent were really focused on that Darius Hayward Bay contract. But between Hayward Bay and Crabtree, there were two linemen, Monroe with the Jaguars and Raji with the Packers, that really complicated it in terms of what Crabtree wanted. So San Francisco was still trying to slot him in below Raji, and it just came back and forth and back and forth. And as was written, they didn't talk for weeks. And so Sunday night, they got together and they said, let's just get together face to face. And that happened Tuesday and Wednesday, and a deal came together. There was some compromise this week on both sides. Compromise on the Crabtree side by length. They went to a 6-year deal, figuring that he'd kind of already lost 1 year of it, so they want 5 years out of the deal. So it's a 6-year deal, which is really a good thing for the 49ers. They have this player under contract through 2014. On the Crabtree side, they got some more money by coming out there. This is certainly a better deal that was on the table for the past 6 weeks. So there was compromise on both sides. Even MC Hammer got involved, and the deal finally got done.
Amazing deal for the 49ers, already off to a 3-1 start. If Sean Hill can develop any chemistry here with Michael Crabtree, it looks like San Francisco's already the best team inside the NFC West here, Andrew. I mean, this could turn out to be a big-time powerhouse football team for Mike Singletary.
Yeah, and you know, they've had success so far this year, but for a Brett Favre, last-second throw, they'd be undefeated. But, you know, they haven't had a lot of statistical success, at least, in the passing game. And certainly Michael Crabtree has the ability to change that. You know, listen, this negotiation, to the credit of Eugene Parker, Michael Crabtree, and the 49ers, never got contentious. There was never a crossword said in the media about it from either side. Everyone else, people like us, said, what's going on? How come it's not getting done? It's so late. It's 4 weeks into the season, blah, blah, blah. But between them, they understood there were different fundamental beliefs about where this contract should fit. And, in my mind, I think Parker and Crabtree sort of had this date in mind all along. They said, listen, by the end of September, 4th game, if this is not done, we're going in there and making it happen. I don't think this thing was going to last till the November deadline. I just think early October was kind of the date they had in mind, the farthest it could go.
And they got it done, like you said here, just a couple of days ago. All right, Andrew, the other big news from Wednesday, the trade of Cleveland Browns wide receiver Braylon Edwards to the New York Football Jets. Jet fans are surely happy to have a big target on the outside, but should they be worried that no extension was signed with the CBA problems and no real deal here down the road? The Jets may only have this guy for 12 games.
Yeah, and they gave up a lot to get him. And you don't want to give up Stuckey and draft choices and whatever else they gave up for a rent-a-deal of 12 games. You know, I think back to the Richard Seymour deal where they're kind of renting him for 16 games without a new contract. Let's say this. First of all, that doesn't mean a new contract won't get done. I think there's some PR angles here, Sid. He just got in trouble fighting with LeBron James people the other night after a club outing early in the morning.
And by the way, Andrew, not to stop you, but if you want a one-way ticket out of Cleveland, just start with LeBron James. You're on the next flight out. Trust me.
That's right. You know, it seems to be that MC Hammer encouraged the deal for Michael Crabtree and LeBron James encouraged the deal for Braylon.
That's right.
Braylon Edwards. There's a lot going on in the entertainment, basketball, fundamental sports world beyond football. Anyway, so I think they still may negotiate with Edwards over the next few weeks. But as we've talked about so many times, there's so much uncertainty right now with the future. with the CBA, with uncapped year versus capped year, with who's going to be a free agent, who's not going to be a free agent, it probably behooves the Jets to wait a little bit. First of all, wait till he comes off whatever charge he's going to get for the fight the other night, and also see how he plays and see how he fits in the team.
Fair. You got to wait for all those things to happen. That may take quite some time here. Andrew, we all know about Brett Favre's triumphant outcome over Green Bay Monday night. What a game for the Vikings. As a longtime exec for the Green Bay Packers here, Andrew, what was it like to see Favre in purple playing against the Pack, and on top of that, playing so well?
It was tough for me, Sid, I had so many mixed emotions, and I couldn't walk a city block without being asked about it. I had a lot of emotions. I'm close with Aaron Rodgers. I'm close with Brett. I've been in that dome so many times, have so many memories, some good, some bad, from being in that dome. I think it's great for Brett in the most fundamental sense of what we're talking about. Here's a guy that has an opportunity to come back. Listen, there's so many players on the street that are potential Hall of Fame players or potential all-star players. Marvin Harrison's not playing, Derek Brooks, Deuce McAllister, Chris McAllister. They don't have a chance to come back, and they would if they could. Brett had that chance, and the Vikings were after him from day one when the Packers told him they were moving on with Aaron Rodgers. So Brett waits a year. He does what he needs to do. He goes to the Jets. He makes the best of that situation, played well there for most of the season, and he really did play well the other night. You know, in so many years with him in Green Bay, it was good to see that back, because there was so much we saw the other night that I saw for so many years in Green Bay. And what I'm most impressed with Brett on the other night was he kept his emotions in check. He was comfortable. He was, to throw against green and gold jerseys that he's been playing with for 16 years must have been, really kind of a bizarro world for Brett. And he controlled his emotions. Now, having said that, Sid, I think it's going to be much harder for Brett to control his emotions when they come to Lambeau.
Yeah,
and that's coming in about a month. And for him to repeat that performance at Lambeau is going to be extremely difficult.
I agree. Write that down, by the way. Sunday, November 1st, Favre and the Vikings at Lambeau to take on the Packers. Andrew, as always, thanks for the tremendous insight. We'll see you again next week right here on Dollars and Cents at nfpost.com and opensports.com each and every Thursday. Great work, Andrew. Thank you so much.
Okay, Sid. Look forward to it next week.
Me too, pal. Thanks again. Remember, you can follow Andrew on Twitter at @ADBrand and catch all of his writing, and he's a great writer at nfpost.com. For my good friend Andrew Brandt, I'm Sid Rosenberg, and as always, folks, enjoy the football.